Please welcome to the stage Shoptalk's Global President, Sophie Vavreau, and Shoptalk's Senior Vice President of Content, Christina Gustafsson.
Good afternoon and welcome to Shoptalk Europe 2023. And welcome, Christina, to wonderful Barcelona, Shoptalk's newest home.
Yes, thank you, Sophie. It is absolutely incredible to be here in Barcelona for my very first time, but more importantly, to welcome all of you to 3 days of education and inspiration, of facilitated meetings and networking, and perhaps most important of all, of innovation discovery. For those of you who are just getting to know Shoptalk, we were founded back in 2016 around a single insight: that the retail industry was on the cusp of a massive digital transformation, and that the companies that would succeed in our industry's future would be those who could explore and embrace new technologies openly. What also struck us at the time was that no single forum existed that brought together all of retail's ecosystem, a place that was inclusive of established retailers and brands, venture-backed consumer startups, technology companies, analysts, investors. You get the picture. And so, Shoptalk was born. Fast forward to today, and our 2 US-based events, being Shoptalk and Grocery Shop, have grown into a community of over 13,000 industry disruptors. And we believe the opportunity here in Europe is even greater.
That's absolutely right, Christina. The core dynamics that have allowed Shoptalk's community to thrive in America, those dynamics of emerging technological innovation and rapidly evolving customer behaviors, they exist equally here in Europe. And here in Europe, we've got the added complexities of cross-border trade, of local market preferences, customer behavior, and retail cultures and structures, and variations in adoption and penetration of digital commerce. But there is so much opportunity here too. The opportunities for digital transformation and retail innovation transcend national boundaries and retail verticals. That's why our ambition for Shoptalk Europe is an event that's here for the whole of Europe and for the whole of the retail industry, a forum that simply doesn't exist elsewhere and that we've heard time and time again is sorely needed.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And one of our big goals here at Shoptalk is to provide you the opportunity to set aside your day-to-day challenges, to stop thinking about the next week or the next quarter and look ahead to the next year or maybe even the next decade. In other words, it's your chance to take a step back in order to look forward. And we're coming here together at an incredible inflection point for our industry. From generative AI to retail media networks, there are industry-wide paradigm shifts happening right now. And the retail winners of the next decade are certainly not going to be those who are sitting idly by and watching those changes happen before their eyes. But rather, they're going to be the ones who are investing at this very moment. Those who see the pressures that they're facing today as opportunities for long-term business model reinvention. Those who want to understand how customer behavior is changing and find new ways to engage with their shoppers. And those who recognize that challenging economic times can actually be cradles for true innovation and create the space to capitalize on it. But I have good news, because all of you who are here with us today are those very people, our community of retail changemakers who have gathered here to create the industry's future.
And we have designed Shoptalk Europe to give you the tools to do exactly that. And that starts with our content agenda, which is the biggest and the most heavily curated in the industry. It's going to give you insights that change the way that you think about the challenges and opportunities ahead of you in the next decade. Christina's going to give you a preview of what you can expect across the stages in the next 3 days in just a sec. And as well as that enormous agenda, we're bringing you an incredible new tool to help you achieve everything you need to in the year ahead. Meet up at Shoptalk Europe. Earlier today, you will have seen, and some of you will have taken part in, the first round of meetings. And in doing that, you have become part of the European arm of the biggest meetings program in retail history. This year, for the first time ever, the whole Shoptalk community has had the opportunity to use our incredible tech platform to provide a totally bespoke schedule of meetings tailored to their exact communication requirements, whether they're looking to meet potential customers and partners, discover new solutions, uncover the hottest startups, launch new products, make announcements, share news, or just make new friends. And that means that at this edition of Shoptalk Europe, we've scheduled over 20,000 one-to-one meetings across the next 3 days. And those meetings aren't speculative connections. Every single one of those 20,000 meetings has been double opted in, meaning the parties on both sides of the table are there because they recognize the potential of that connection to be transformative for their business. With the introduction of Meetup at Shoptalk Europe, you no longer have to cross your fingers and just hope that you'll bump into the right people during your time here. We're leveling the playing field. The future of retail is going to be defined by a large number of people from across the industry collaborating in the right ways and at the right times. And that's what Meetup is here to facilitate. And Meetup is just one of the opportunities that we create for collaboration at Shoptalk. Over the next 2 days, we'll be hosting our largest ever Table Talks program, where retailers and brands can come together for peer-to-peer learning and bridge building. We're showcasing over 250 of the most innovative technology providers in the world across our exhibit hall and sponsor areas. And tomorrow night, make sure you don't miss the Shoptalk Europe beach party. At Shoptalk US, our beach parties have become pretty legendary. But here in Barcelona, we're able to swap the artificial beach of Las Vegas for the real thing. We've got some incredible surprises planned for you down at the beach, including our headliner, Craig David, who'll be presenting his world-famous TS5 set. We're bringing all of these elements together to give you the most productive 3 days of your calendar. We know that the most valuable commodity that you have is your time, and we're extremely grateful for you choosing to invest that time here with us at Shoptalk. So Christina, can you walk us through what we can expect to see on the stages in the next couple of days?
Yes, I would be happy to do so. Well, during your time here at Shoptalk Europe, you're going to have the opportunity to attend almost 60 different sessions across 5 different content stages, each one having been very carefully curated to address a specific element in retail's digital transformation. That's over 35 hours of insights and perspectives to be inspired by and to learn from. You'll get to choose from nearly 200 speakers, half of who are CEOs or other C-level, and 100% of who were handpicked by the Shoptalk content team. That's right, unlike most retail or, quite frankly, other industry events overall, not a single speaker has been paid to speak on our stages or has paid to participate. That means you'll have an opportunity to hear real, unbiased insights from the best and brightest minds in our industry. It's all part of the Shoptalk difference. Now, in addition to being Europe's most innovative show, we also strive to be the most inclusive. We prioritize giving platforms to diverse voices, and across all of Shoptalk's events, we strive for gender parity. I'm thrilled to say that at our US event this past March, it was the second straight year where 50% of our speakers identified as women. But we know that our work here is nowhere near complete. Well, I'm happy to say that at this year's Shoptalk Europe, 44% of our speakers identify as women. Our broader mission to help the industry achieve gender parity can only be accomplished by surpassing the statistics that we're all too familiar with when it comes to women in leadership positions. You probably got a flavor of this if you heard that we have an on-site crush this year, which we introduced for the very first time at Shoptalk Europe, and we'll be rolling out to all of our future events in the US as well. But at the same time, we know that in order to make the biggest possible difference on our industry, we can't do it alone. So we'd like to call on all of you in our global Shoptalk community to help make our industry one that's open and equitable to all. Not only all genders, but people of all orientations, ethnicities, and backgrounds. Now, at its core for this year's Shoptalk Europe agenda, our focus is really on innovation, and specifically how new technologies and business models are changing how consumers discover, shop, and buy. We've boiled it down to 5 critical questions that our agenda will help you answer. The first is, what does best-in-class shopper engagement look like? In other words, how can you be present where your shoppers are, as the way that they search for and discover products is constantly changing? You'll be able to join sessions that examine the platforms and capabilities that companies need to understand, whether it's social commerce, shoppable video, or generative AI. We'll also have a look at how companies are leveraging zero and first-party data to make sure that those engagements are much more meaningful. Second, what emerging channels will deliver growth for my business? At Shoptalk, we're always looking to go beyond the obvious and established. So while you can certainly expect to hear about the latest in direct-to-consumer, e-commerce, and marketplaces, we'll also be looking at how emerging channels like Web3 and retail media networks are being applied in retail. Third, how do I deliver an outstanding store experience? Well, digital innovation is not limited to online, and our agenda is going to explore how companies are reimagining their stores to deliver unified, seamless, and engaging experiences. We'll also be taking a look at the opportunities that you have to enable your store associates so that they can help you accelerate your digital transformation. Fourth, which technology investments will help boost my revenue and profitability? Well, efficiency and profitability are two big themes right now, not only in our industry, but across industries and across the globe. There's no mistaking that we're now in a more pragmatic investment environment, but despite the current narrative, we want to reiterate that now is still an incredible time for innovation. Across our agenda, we'll help you identify technology investments that can help unlock savings in your business while also improving the customer experience. And finally, what organizational changes will help me win? Successful businesses have to keep evolving their structures and leadership strategies in order to unlock true digital transformation. You'll hear how organizations are breaking down barriers and processes to share data and insights across divisions, as well as get firsthand advice from leaders about how to lead teams during transformative times.
Thanks, Christina. So as you can see, we have an exhilarating, inspiring, and educational 3 days ahead. Look around. The Shoptalk community gathered in this room is the most senior we've ever brought together anywhere in the world. Over a third of you are C-level or equivalent in your organizations. More than 1 in 3 of you are retailers or from consumer-facing brands. And again, that's the most we've ever gathered together here in Europe. Our community has traveled from right across Europe and beyond to be with us, from Finland to Portugal, Ireland to Turkey, the USA to the UAE. We're welcoming 67 nationalities to Shoptalk Europe today. No matter where you've traveled from to be with us, this is your Shoptalk, and we build it in partnership with you. At Shoptalk, we always want to be evolving, innovating, and unlocking new opportunities and new value for you. So as you're exploring the show over the next couple of days, I'd love to invite you to stop me or any of my team. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you'd like to see us do next. We'd love to speak to you. Thank you for being part of our journey. Shoptalk Europe is just one of our annual portfolio of events. Our next event is something a bit special, so I wanted to call it out to you. As Christina mentioned, part of our purpose is to help create a level playing field of opportunity across retail. That's why we'll be running Shoptalk Meetup for Women. It's an event centered on networking, peer learning, and mentorship. And because we believe that this opportunity should exist for women in retail regardless of geographic boundaries, this is our one virtual event. And we'll be back here at the Fira in Barcelona from the 3rd to the 5th of June 2024. But all that lies ahead. For now, welcome to Shoptalk Europe.